The Justice Minister's daughter's been abducted. The kidnappers demand the execution of the death row prisoner Jowd to be carried out tonight. Lynne says the execution's a mistake, and I believe her. And so I'm paying the kidnappers' hideout a visit to see what I can find out about the abduction.
What took you so long? Your instinct was right, Beauty, my dear. They had that restaurant surrounded. It took me forever to shake them, and now my poor bike's ready for the scrap heap. Next time, maybe you should make it a tricycle so you don't hurt yourself. Ouch, that hurts, Beauty, but that's okay. That's what I love about you. Be a little more gentle with our valuable hostage, please. Yes, yes. Always keep a smile on a lady's face, right, my dear? There. See that, Beauty? Now there's a smile blooming on your face too, my dear. Yes, a wry smile. I'm going out for a breath of fresh air. You're on guard duty. All right, I'll dream of you until you return. Why don't you open the trunk for our guest? I will, Beauty. I was just taking a little breather. All right, little lady. Let me open that trunk for you. Beauty.
Looks like the Justice Minister's daughter really has been kidnapped. And something else is bothering me too. I don't think I've ever been to this room before, but something about it has given me a strange sense of déjà vu. I've seen something like this before. Taking something precious to manipulate others. So that's what kidnapping is. The dirty tricks those without the powers of the dead come up with. However, if I take that precious thing back, their power vanishes, doesn't it? Now then, time to see how the Justice Minister's little girl is doing, before this guy wakes up from his dream of beauty.
So, I mean, geez, they put her in a box? Isn't she gonna suffocate or something? It's barbaric. Not that I'm surprised at this point. I mean, there's nothing I'd put past these guys.
Whenever I possess a door like this, for some reason, I get the urge to send something flying with it. These ghost tricks are kind of addictive.
Yeah, I can see it. Oh. Sissel, let me ghost sit. Oh. Okay, this works too. He was able to increase the intensity of that chemical reaction. And, oh. Oh, I can swing it though. Swinging, man! So what we need to do is either, well, we could kill the beast, or we could knock him out. Not that he's really a beast, I mean, he's a pathetic, foppish shrimp. We can move this? How? No.
This is one of those things you light with fire, isn't it? As long as there's light in this room, is something like this really necessary? But if something can be lit, it kind of makes me want to light it. I need another core to reach the trunk and open it. I wonder if I can create a new core.
Probably. I don't understand the exact rules of cores. Well, we're not able to, say, knock the, mantle clock onto the trunk from here. So what can we do? No. Oh, we have to wait for the star to get back to this side. Yeah, here we go. Well, let's see what's in that toolbox down there. No, I can't get to it. Well, let's see what happens when we spin this. Faster. No? Oh? I was worried it might cause those bottles to ring. Like they did earlier. That was pretty crazy the way they did that. Nope. Oh, back to normal speed. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. I mean, we got a ball. It's just like back in Lynne's apartment when we were with Camila and the dog. Missile the dog. Brings back memories, doesn't it? Those were the days. If only we could go back to then, why would we? We knew less about what was going on then. Oh, it's one of those... Look at that thing there. That's the thing that the Dove guy, the superintendent of the junkyard, had in his trap mechanism. We never did learn what was going on with that guy, did we? So many mysteries. Yeah, we still can't reach the trunk quite from here.
Darn. I can't reach my destination from here.
Oh, yeah, I see that. So here's a doll with a candle begging to be lit. But she's done up in some great clothes, too. We have that ball, we have this toy, and we have the party popper. Now, first of all, what happens if we spin this? I mean, I figured it would ascend its little tower here, but I was curious more over what we could gain from it. Nothing, then. I guess not. Beauty's obviously the brains of this operation. We have cake box and another party cracker. Didn't wake him up. Oh, darn, it did. Really, this guy's so servile. He's obsessed with Beauty to the point that he just nods off and dreams about her. It's pretty pathetic. Oh, is he gonna notice? Because this is pretty conspicuous. No, he didn't. What a grade A idiot.
Just my imagination. That's all he has to say. What an amazingly simple fellow. This room, on the other hand, is starting to look amazingly festive. The question is, how can I use it to my advantage?
Yeah, Sissel, you're just MacGyvering up solutions right now, aren't you? Well, let's try this. I don't get it. Shouldn't that thing spinning on the fan have gotten caught? Let's try again. I don't understand why it didn't get caught on this streamer thing. Nope, it didn't work though. I would think they get tangled. Soon the entire room would be so tangled that it would be kind of aggravating to have to work in here, and so their work conditions becoming somewhat stressful, they would choose to not work in here anymore, and then they'd have to relocate to another room, and they'd be inconvenienced. Can you imagine? They'd be in a tizzy for days. Come on! Ah, we weren't quite able to reach it. But maybe now. No. Oh, now we can. See? What'd I tell ya? Now we can. We're gonna light that thing spinning around on fire. That's the plan, I think. Yup, that's the plan.
When the flame gets really big like this, for some reason I just get the urge to burn something. Unfortunately, everything is just out of the flames' reach.
I see that. Oh, I know what to do. Okay. Come on! Okay, fine. I guess we're just gonna have to be fast about this, aren't we? The fastest. Because we can freeze time, so speed isn't much of an issue for us. Uh-oh. I sure hope that put out the fire, because we don't want this building to burn down, because first of all, we do not know who else is in it. And it very well might have innocent people in it, and second of all, we, don't want to hurt the Lady Red's daughter, Amelie. I should have stopped by Lady Red's and see how she's taking her daughter's kidnapping. She's probably oblivious of it or something, because she's, you know, an idiot. But really, though, her daughter didn't deserve this. Okay, that woke him up. Is he gonna miss this too? He is really stupid. He's also really short. I expect that he is both unusually short and that, Beauty is unusually tall. Oh, so it's not locked anymore, huh? It wasn't her daughter!
What in the... What's going on here? This little lady is... Is this little lady really a daughter of the Justice Minister?
Well, wait a minute, hold on. If she's just been in there, why couldn't she have, say, screamed? Like, surely it's not so soundproof that someone couldn't have heard a person screaming inside of it. You know, back at the chicken restaurant.
Just my imagination.
What's with the fun book and juice? Like I said, always keep a smile on a lady's face. I wanted to treat our guest well. How about treating me well? I'd like some bread and milk, please. At your service, my dear. Be back in a flash. Hey, mister. Yes, cute little lady? More juice, perhaps? All you have to do is ask. Have I been... kidnapped? Don't cry, little dear. There's nothing to be afraid of. The surroundings are miserable and filthy, I know, but we just want to ask for a little patience. Don't say those awful things about this house! Huh? This house is where I used to live.
What?
I apologize, little lady. I'm the one who's miserable and filthy. Forgive me. What's the meaning of this, Beauty? Why here at the girl's old house? Don't ask me. It was the other party in our deal who chose this location. Oh, I see. It's been empty for 5 years, and apparently nobody ever comes here. But never mind that. What about my bread and milk? Oh, of course. Now, you be a good girl while I'm gone. You just read your book and drink your juice. I want to go home. Not quite yet.
This dilapidated place was Camilla's old house? What's going on here? What in the world? Why does the little lady have a core of the dead? When I helped her out at Lynne's apartment, she didn't have one. So that must mean she must have died sometime after that. And it also means somebody else must have saved her. I'd better ask her what happened. A book. Wonder what the little lady's reading tonight. An exciting adventure story, maybe? Although she's already getting quite a bit of excitement for one day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was simple enough that you could just tell her you're taking her on a trip inside a big red box and she'd believe you. Because after all, she didn't call the cops when a frickin' guy with a rifle broke into her apartment. Was she insane? Especially when her roommate's a cop, she should know these things. Anyway. Did Missel save you? Who's there? Oh, wait a minute. Is that you, Missel? Missel!
I'm sorry, I'm not Missel. My name's Sissel.
Sissel? My name is Camila.
Camila. So it is her. I knew it.
What, you didn't? Of course you did. You recognized her. Now I think about it, Camila... I should pronounce it Camila. Camila doesn't have the best associations. What happened to me? What is this place?
I can hardly tell the poor little thing this is the land of the dead.
The land of the dead? Does that mean I'm dead?
Darn! I forgot there are no secrets in the ghost world.
Well, secrets that you can keep. People like Lynne and Jowd keep keeping secrets from you all the time.
You can relax. You're not dead. But this isn't the first time you've been here, apparently.
Really? I don't remember. Wait a minute. Maybe I do remember. Sort of.
You do? It looks like she doesn't remember being saved very well. So there's some other dead person out there with special powers, eh? Anyway, I don't want to press her if she doesn't remember anything.
I suppose that it could be Ray.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about something else?
Sure, go ahead, Sissy.
Sissy,
Lynne asked me to do something for her tonight.
I know about that part. She asked you to go to the chicken kitchen on Dead End Drive, right?
Yeah, but I never got there. Now I wish I could say I'm sorry to her. I never should have gone through that park.
What park?
Temsik Park. It's a shortcut to Dead End Drive.
Is that where the kidnappers grabbed you?
Yeah. Lynne always said, I don't like that park. Scary things happen there.
Temsik Park, huh?
What am I gonna do? Lynne's going to be mad.
She is? How come?
Because I left it there. The music box in the park.
That's right! The music box!
That music box was hidden in the apartment. I finally found it with a little bit of luck and courage. Guess where it was?
I don't know. Where? I'll pretend I don't know.
You know? You don't have to humor me.
Oops. So what happened to the music box?
I hid it in the bushes at the park just before it happened.
Just before? Oh, just before you were kidnapped, huh?
I didn't want the bad man to take it, so I hid it. I bet it's still there in the park.
You did well. So the music box is in the park. I'd better let Lynne know. This is your old house.
Yup, this is where we lived until 5 years ago. But now I live with Lynne and Missel.
Lynne is like a big sister to you, isn't she?
Yup, she's a detective, you know. She's my hero.
She is, huh? By the way, about your father. Is he the justice minister?
My father is gone.
Gone? Maybe he passed away.
No, that's not it. My dad, he's going to die, and it's all because of me.
What? What do you mean because of me? Why would you say that?
It's called an execution. My dad is a detective.
No way! Don't tell me your father is Detective Jowd!
That's right.
What in the world?
5 years ago, something really bad happened. Like a scary dream, but it wasn't a dream.
5 years ago? That murder case!
It was Mom's birthday that day. My mom and dad were working and I was home by myself. And then I had an idea. I was going to surprise my mom. I set up that contraption. I still can't believe it happened. It wasn't supposed to work like that.
I know that contraption. And I know how it was supposed to work. Party poppers and a cake. A birthday message.
My dad told me not to tell anybody. Just leave it to me, he said. My dad wanted to be executed. He asked them for it. But I wanted to tell everybody it was my fault. My dad said what I saw was a bad dream. He told me to forget it.
This is all so unbelievably tragic. I can't believe it. This little lady is Detective Jowd's daughter. I just can't tell her. I can't tell her why she was kidnapped.
Why was I kidnapped? I want to know!
Oops. There are no secrets in the ghost world. Maybe we'd better stop talking. It's too dangerous.
Sissy, you're not going to talk to me anymore.
I think we'd better get you out of here first. We can talk more after that.
Okay, but
I'm gonna rescue you now. You just hold on a little longer, alright?
okay, but we'll talk later, right? Don't forget, you promised, Sissy. I can't believe it. The Doveman's contraption. I didn't think we'd see that again. What took you so long? I traveled the entire town in search of the finest bread and milk for you, my dear. But it's late, and all the stores are closed. We're leaving this place right now. What? But he's not here yet. If we don't meet at the restaurant, well, weren't we supposed to meet here? Yes, and he's the one who chose this location. I don't like this one bit. We have to run around doing all this extra work, all for the sake of his deal. Be quiet. It can't be helped. This place is too dangerous. I told you, my sixth sense is very strong. All right, as you wish, beauty. I feel it. I sense something here in this room. Is somebody there? Can you hear me?
Is she talking to me?
I can sense your presence, you know. The next time I sense you, this child will die. Remember that. All right, we're leaving.
Pardon me, little lady. All of a sudden, I'm left behind alone. Alone in the room that stole that little lady's smile away 5 years ago. The little lady's gone now, leaving me with only a few new facts. A few very heavy, very sad facts. Does Lynne know about all this? One other thing stands out in my mind. I can sense your presence. The sum of that kidnapper's final words. Do those two know? Do those kidnappers know about the powers of the dead? Looks like the kidnappers made a big mistake. The girl in the trunk was Detective Jowd's daughter, Camila, not the minister's daughter. When I got back to the Justice Minister's office, things were getting even more out of hand. The devastated man was being grilled by the fiery detective lady. I told Lynne what I'd found out about the kidnapping, that it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who'd been abducted. That the kidnappers had been holed up in Camila's old house, and that they sensed my presence and were already gone.
But Camila! Why do they have Camila? Her father isn't this stupid old Justice Minister.
I think the stupid old part's a little uncalled for. Looks like the kidnappers made a mistake somehow.
The poor girl, kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution. It's just too much.
It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists, too. Like the kidnappers winding up and using Camila's old house as their hideout.
There's no way it could be just coincidence.
And them sensing my presence. They seem to know about the powers of the dead.
I just don't understand any of it.
I told you before, Detective. I want you to stand back.
Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped.
Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying.
No! How can I believe in you? I'm a realist. Please! If you don't believe what we say, see for yourself. Just call home and... I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. She won't? It's complicated. Oh, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? But if she doesn't answer, doesn't that mean everything's normal? It doesn't prove it! And I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed! What difference does it make that it's not my daughter? Golly, that's quite a pickle, Mr. Minister. Quite a pickle. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanella! Have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. Thought you might like to see him, so here he is. Detective Jowd! Detective Jowd, I'm so sorry. I tried. I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it. I'm so sorry.
Lynne, please don't apologize to me.
Ah, the beautiful love between a teacher and student. It brings a tear to my eye. It's rather odd. I mean, Cabanella's like a bad guy, really, isn't he?
Lynne doesn't really know that Jowd is innocent. She just believes it from the bottom of her heart. The execution and the kidnapping are real threats, and time marches on. I'll gather information and see if I can think of something. This all relates back to me somehow. I just know it.
Yeah, I don't have much to talk to the Justice Minister about. He's right about Camila. But really, it's just about the cruelest thing I've ever heard of, a girl being held ransom for her father's execution. But that means that all these years, Lynne's roommate, she knows the truth about who killed, and Lynne's been living with her. Lynne's whole investigation, the answer was right there. Although we're still missing something. Like, why was that machine there at all? Surely it wasn't put up by Camila.
According to what I heard, Amali was supposed to go to some sort of lesson tonight.
Those horrible kidnappers. They were lying in wait for her.
But Amali didn't go out after all. She couldn't. She had a fever.
Huh? And so the kidnappers grabbed Camila by mistake instead?
Apparently, Amali and Camila are about the same age. The kidnappers must have gotten the two of them mixed up.
Yeah, I suppose Lynne knows her. I mean, they're neighbors. It's my fault. If I hadn't asked Camila to do that errand for me, this never would have happened.
Oh, right. You asked her to bring the music box.
Camila. Oh, we can't reach him. You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanella, that the execution was tonight? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you. And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Jowd could never have done such a thing.
Oh, come on now, baby! I know no such thing!
Huh? I know two things to be true and two things only. One, he was given the death penalty, and two, he tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby? If that's the case, why did you bring him here?
Whatever do you mean, young lady?
He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons. So, were all those rumors about you true? That the only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important to you than saving a friend? Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby.
That's enough, Lynne.
But Detective Jowd!
I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be.
But...
So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. I hear something happened. Something about a kidnapping. Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter. That's terrible. What's their demand? They're carrying out your execution. Tonight. Ha ha ha! I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple.
It's not that simple!
Why not?
Because it isn't really the minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Camila.
What? Camila? I checked it out for myself. I'm positive. No! It can't be! And by the way, Camila told me something interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was Camila herself.
What? What are you talking about?
Don't listen to him! I'm the one who shot her. I'm the one who shot Ulma. And when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camila won't have to suffer any more after tonight. For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. It'll just bring her new suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours.
Is it true? What Camila said?
Why don't you tell us what you know? To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife's, Ulma's, birthday. We came home from work and she went in first. I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. There was nobody there besides Ulma and Camila. Just the two of them. So the little lady's mother died right in front of her.
Oh my! That's so horrible!
Camila told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to. Made an impossible move. An impossible move?
Did a ghost sabotage it?
Camila was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius at making elaborate toys and contraptions. But there were two very strange points about that contraption.
The first was, of course, the firing of that gun.
Right. That was an antique gun I'd had on display for years. So it wasn't part of the little lady's original design.
Of course it wasn't! It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday!
And the other strange point was the movement of that Cupid.
Wait, you kept the gun loaded on your wall? Well, I suppose that it was probably sabotaged somehow, so... Cupid.
It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody needed to change the contraption's design and then manipulated it.
I don't know what to say.
I didn't have time to think things through then. All I knew was I had to protect Camila. I made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in.
What kind of adjustment?
The gun, of course. The gun, eh? Come to think of it. There was no gun there, just a picture hanging on the wall. Of course not, because I secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption, but one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking.
So that gun really did shoot Alma?
I hid the gun before I went to the police.
You hid it?
I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective.
What? You mean...
And that detective still thinks it's a music box.
So that's what was in the box, huh?
I got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police. My own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into the details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There's no other explanation. That's what I'd convinced everyone of, even me. But tonight, you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. The powers of the dead, right? That day in that room, powers I didn't understand were at work. And if that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries. Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about these powers.
Is somebody there? Can you hear me? I can sense your presence, you know.
The kidnappers who abducted Camila knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. It looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was.
Detective Jowd.
There's still time before dawn. A little anyway. How about you see this case through to the end before you die?
Detective Jowd, is what you told us just now true?
Yes, of course.
In that case, there's still time.
Still time?
Time to solve the case that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd. And of course, little Camila didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there, and I'm going to prove it. For Camila's sake.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Detective Jowd.
Lynne, where is that music box now?
In Temsik Park. Camila left it there.
That gun is important evidence. You better go pick it up.
Yes, sir. I'll go right now. Sissel, take care of Detective Jowd. And do something about the kidnapping so we can get the minister on our side.
And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say.
What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate.
A little change in plans. My daughter has been kidnapped, I can't just go off to die without doing something.
But you're in our custody, don't forget. Back at the prison, everybody's waiting for you, with a special seat just for you, baby.
Then I guess we'd better prove my innocence on the double.
On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend.
I want to save Camila in more ways than one. And that's all there is to it.
I see, my old friend, in more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight, as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? The order still stands. Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please, don't bow down to me. And especially not that low. In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? Yes, sir. The van should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate?
I'm glad to see Detective Jowd all fired up now, but I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynne does come through with some proof of Jowd's innocence, it'll be meaningless if Jowd or Camila dies. I've got to do something about that kidnapping. Somehow. Maybe I should ask for some advice from the capable detective here.
Not a bad idea. He should know about these things, and he has a lot of interest in this case.
Most likely the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there's any small chance his daughter is the one who was kidnapped.
But she isn't the one! I'm sure of it.
Well, it would be great if we could prove that to the minister.
Prove it? How? I doubt his wife's ever gonna answer that phone if we call from here.
If we call from here, right. But a telephone works in both directions.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is only family members can solve a family problem. Hey, Mr. Ghost.
Yes?
I have to admit, I don't like depending on others. But you're the only one who can change this situation.
Gee, Detective.
For these past 5 years, Camila's the only thing that kept me going. I can't go meekly to the chair now. I hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me?
I'll try. The key to getting the Justice Minister to stop the execution is his wife and daughter. But is there a way? Yeah, you know what? I think there is a way. We gotta be fast about it, though. Well, Lady Red, you might be just some hack novelist, but you're a hack novelist who has the Justice Minister's heart. And that makes you a maker of history.
Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now kidnapping. This last link in the long chain of a sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart, and the chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. I'm getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight is related back to me in some way, and I bet this mistake-ridden abduction does too.
Wait, was that whole chapter just them talking? I'm fine with that.
Dawn is near, man. I visited the novelist's apartment again. I'm hoping to be able to do something about this mistaken identity kidnapping. As long as there's any possibility that it could be his own daughter who was kidnapped, I doubt the Justice Minister will call off the execution tonight.
The problem is, didn't he say that he wouldn't do it anyway, since after all the hostage is going to be killed?
The key to dispelling the minister's doubts is now in bed, coughing, and I need to use this key before that prison van arrives to pick up our death row inmate.
My darling angel. Oh, just listen to that cough. You naughty thing. Did you leave your nice warm bed to go out into the night to play? A daughter after my own heart. But I must confess, I didn't even notice you were gone. I didn't go out to play. I went to buy Papa a birthday present. He said he wanted a new lighter, but that's no reason to go out this late at night. But my fever finally went down. I could barely move before that. But look what it brought you. Your fever is worse now than ever. Here is to the feverish passion of my darling angel. Mama? Yes, darling? Let's call Papa and wish him a happy birthday, even though it's already past midnight. Not tonight, Amelie. I hate you!
Looks like this little girl was safe all along. I already knew that, but I'm still relieved all the same. And there's another lucky development too. Amelie wants to call her father. Now, if I can just make the use of that feeling somehow, that would surely bring the Justice Minister around. That would surely bring the Justice Minister around.
Wait, this is a lighter? Oh yeah, it is. This is called Fate, kid. The phone! Oh, and here comes the horrible woman. Amelie, I told you, you couldn't call him tonight. Why not? Listen to me, Amelie. Your father is about to make a big mistake. I want him to reconsider. What do you know about it, Mama? He's the one who's the Justice Minister, you know. All you do is write weird novels. What do you mean, weird? How dare you disparage my romantic expressions? Now you really made me angry. You really have. How do you expect me to forgive such an insult? I hate you! There. I'll be keeping my eye on you now, so you won't do anything else mischievous. Like calling your father. I hate you. I can hear you, you know.
Phew, what a pair. I don't know what this family's issues are, but I do know I have to do something about this lady so Amelie can call.
Well, Lady Red does not want that execution to be carried out. Little does she realize that she's preventing it from being carried out by not letting her daughter just call. What happens if we turn this? Oh, there's a mousy mouse up there, huh? What else do we have up here? We have a valve like the ones that were in the prison. No Jowds to hide today, though. Did that even do anything? I don't know. I mean, there's clearly a hole in the wire there. They should probably get that checked out. It's been gnawed by mice. Oh goodness, look at the time! As I bask in my tale of love, time has been moving on at the speed of light. Really, at the speed of time, you idiot.
So even though she's immersed in love, she can still hear this, huh? But this won't buy enough time for her daughter to make a phone call. There must be something else I can distract her with.
Is this gonna do anything? Probably not. Yeah, it's not doing much. The issue is, even if we could distract Lady Red, we wouldn't be able to get to the phone, would we? Now, surely her daughter, if she wanted to, could just stand up on her mattress and get it down. Can we burn down the apartment building? Fortunately, we can't. Is there gonna be a can of ketchup in here? Oh, not so much. These two are quite a pair. I mean, I'm sure that Amelie can be a little hellion sometimes, but my sympathy is definitely with her. Not with this weird woman and her giant pile of giant big pink beehive. Well, if this isn't a way of distracting her, I don't know what is. Come on, right in her hair!
I'd better not put out the lamp right now. It'll only pour oil on the flames of anger in this lady's heart. If I want to give Amelie a chance to use the telephone, I have to think of a way to keep her mother out of the way.
Oh, she's trying to get it, but she thinks she's too weak. Is that it? Well, okay. How could I get her out of the way, then? Hoist. Chandelier. And another latch to turn. Well, let's turn it. But what's the point? If I can't move the hoist, then it doesn't matter. I can't, like, drop the chandelier down. And I can't repair the wire in any way that comes to mind, at least. Well, well, having a good time, are we, little rodent? Sweet dreams? Did you fancy the vintage, my whiskered friend? You know, most people dislike mice because they're actually afraid they'll step on them. Not Lady Red. She hates them because she just is a mean-spirited person and wants to squish them. Oh heavens! A blackout at a critical time like this! Of course, dim lights suit my story of love very well, but I myself am not very fond of the dark. This chandelier just narrowly missed the back of my head. I love the thrill of romance, but I don't need these kinds of thrills, thank you. You put out the match in your wine? Lady, come on! You're still gonna drink that with a match in it? It's gonna give it a chemical-y taste, like besides alcohol, the main chemical. Ah, what a wonderful atmosphere! Perfect for a clandestine meeting in the dusky twilight.
I don't exactly know how this situation came about, but I think I owe the rat an apology. The rat seems to be unconscious. But now that the room is changed into this, maybe I can use it somehow.
Yeah, Rat, I'm sorry. But, okay, what can we do here then? We can distract her by doing that at least. What a naughty chandelier! Yeah, naughty. Look at her turn that crank! You have to, you know, say what you want about Lady Red, but she is pretty energetic. What we need to do is get that, these candles lit somehow. I'm not entirely sure how we will, though. Because once those candles are lit, the phone's gonna return to her daughter. We can do that, and then we need to distract her somehow, of course. Yeah, and he refuses to put out the lamp. I don't get it. Why is lowering the chandelier not going to make her too angry, but putting out her lamp will? You have some odd standards, Sissel, I have to admit.
The lady's dictionary. Wasn't this on her desk before? The poor thing, destined to never be returned to the bookshelves.
Some of us are just natural wanderers. What can I say? Oh. What is it with Sissel and fire recently? I feel like it's becoming a bit of a fixation for him. Well, let's see what happens if we lower it and then burn it more brightly. Shall we? Oh no, it's gonna be a cutscene the entire time, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But we have to experiment if we're going to get anywhere. Silky smooth. Okay. It turns out it did indeed involve the latch and chandelier, since of course it did. At this point, Lady Red, if I were you, I would seriously be considering investing in a new chandelier. Yours does not seem very stable. Wait, I don't need to be in the chandelier, I need to be in the crank. Oh, we're getting close. I tell you what, you crazed novelist, you. This is not a fight you're gonna win. Alright. Oh, no, not quite. some attitude you get, some ego you got calling an inanimate object insolent, as if it has the capacity to be insolent. Amelie! Amelie, help me! Mama! I'm sorry, Mama. I'm too dizzy. I can't get up. I'm afraid I can't help you right now. Ha ha ha! Here is to the weakness of my darling angel.
That chandelier is on her there tighter than her wedding band. She won't be able to escape on her own.
Well? What? What is going on here? Amelie, look! Do you see this? Help me, please! Oh, sorry. I'm too sick. I can't get out of bed. My head is spinning, so I guess you'll just have to stay up there spinning too. Yup.
Looks like the lady won't be going anywhere for a while. Now the little girl can call her father. The only trouble is she can't reach it. I guess I'll just have to deliver it to her. Oh, that's right. The angle of those candles. I saw something very similar just recently, didn't I? Darn straight. I'm sorry to trouble you like this, ma'am. Not really.
Yeah, now we have a lit rat. Yup. No, it's like a fuse. Oh, wait, no, it's not. We're really doing a number both to the apartment's owner and to the rat.
Now I really owe that poor rat an apology. But this might be a really good chance for me, too. I have to get that phone to Amelie.
This apartment is in such chaos right now. There we go. Sissel always makes do with what he has. Mama! What in the world is going on here? Oh, goody. Excuse me a minute while I call Papa, okay, Mama? I'll only be a minute.
You weren't really dizzy at all, were you?
Don't you dare, Amelie! I won't have it! Get me down!
No can do, ma'am.
Hello, Papa?
Amelie! Is that you?
Of course it is, silly. What did you think?
But I heard they said you were... No, never mind. It's nothing.
Silly old Papa. Happy birthday, Papa.
Birthday? Oh, right. It was my birthday today, wasn't it?
I'm sorry we couldn't celebrate tonight. Thanks to mean old Mama.
Oh, you mean old Mama? I mean, your mother. What is she up to right now?
Well, she's certainly up all right. My stubborn mother is kind of tied up at the moment. Get me down! She needs to be taught a lesson for causing us so much trouble.
No, Amelie. I'm the one who was wrong.
Huh? Could you tell your mother I'm sorry? What do you have to be sorry about? I was just about to make a terrible mistake. But it's all right now. Oh, okay. You're still young. There's a lot I can't tell you right now. The job of Justice Minister is very complicated, you see. Okay. But just remember, you're always the most important thing to your mother and me. Did you do something naughty to your mother? If you did, I want you to apologize. I don't think I did anything. But okay, I'll apologize. That's a good girl. Okay, Papa. Have a good night. I love you. I love you too, Emily. Good night, sweetheart. Mama, I'm sorry. My goodness, why the sudden change? I guess I was wrong about you. I didn't understand. Oh, Amelie. I thought all you ever did was write these weird novels. That makes me a little sad. Papa said the job of Justice Minister was complicated. Yes, your father's job is very, very complicated and difficult. That's why I couldn't talk to you about most of it. But you're right. I shouldn't treat you like such a little girl anymore. You're growing up, after all. And I promise to stop calling your novels weird and try actually reading them. What? Oh, maybe you'd better wait until you're a little older for that. Oh, okay. So, Amelie, if you're feeling a little more charitable toward your old mama, do you think you could let me down now? You know, I would love to do that, but I'm just feeling too dizzy and sick right now. Tonight, on this holiest of nights, my deadline, it looks like the only thing pressing on me will be this chandelier. Here is to Papa and Mama's darling angel.
All of a sudden, everybody's getting along again. It's such an abrupt change. I can't understand it. Is this what family is all about? In any case, the situation has changed dramatically now. I just hope the mysteries of me can be cleared up as quickly as the furrows on the minister's brow. I don't know where Camilla is, but at least now the Justice Minister's doubts are dispelled. I think I'll go back to his office where everybody is waiting for the prison van. The minister's family now has their smiles and harmony back, but Camilla is still in the hands of the kidnappers. I decided to go back to the Justice Minister's office. Surprisingly, the minister's brow is still just as furrowed as ever, quite unlike a father who's just learned his daughter is safe. He seems to still be in the depths of despair. The atmosphere in this room is very different now. It seems to have an air of unfocused anxiety. I get the feeling something big is gonna happen. I just found out that my daughter is safe. I'd like to express my gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for my daughter's sake, and for mine.
No need to thank us, Mr. Minister. It was nothing.
What did he do?
But one question. I can't help but notice. Your daughter is safe. And yet you still look unhappy. How about a little smile for us?
Ah.
Of course, there is still the matter of the other kidnapping victim. But Is that really the only thing that troubles you, Mr. Minister? Please let me think in peace until the prison van arrives.
I wonder if Lynne is at the park yet. Till we get her report, I guess I'll just have to wait here. This continued distress of the ministers. Is there really something more to it, like the inspector in white said?
I don't know. I will say this, though. I mean, Cabanela, why did you just let Lynne run away? She's still a wanted criminal, and you're obsessed with keeping your jacket stainless, right? Minister, is there something more to this? I mean, I know you're not gonna communicate, but...
Hello, Justice Minister. How about you finally admit I do exist?
That thank you I expressed. That was meant for you. You're a ghost, aren't you? And you have the power to control and manipulate people, don't you?
No, I don't have that kind of power. I can't control you.
We've actually known, you know, for quite a while now. But I had no idea they were the powers of the dead, of ghosts.
Known? Known about what?
We knew about the existence of somebody who could control others. A manipulator.
What's this?
That's why your execution order caused me so much anguish, Detective Jowd.
Mr. Minister, why don't you just tell us everything you know?
Yes, I suppose I should. You need to hear it all. All about the huge mistake this foolish man made. There are some cases in this country right now that are under a top-secret investigation. Of course, you wouldn't have known about them, Detective Jowd.
Right. They don't share too much top-secret information with the inmates in prison.
There are 3 prisoners, including you, in the special prison you just escaped from. All 3 cases have certain points in common.
They do they? Tell us more.
The rock singer who leaked national secrets in his lyrics during a TV broadcast. The curry-loving fellow who took the chief commissioner hostage at the Metro Police Department. Neither of these men had a motive for their crime, and both of their crimes were impossible.
Impossible?
The curry lover had no way of knowing how to infiltrate the commissioner's office, and the rock singer had no way of knowing the national secrets he leaked. The Special Investigation Unit submitted an investigative report to me on them. They concluded that these men's criminal acts were not of their own volition.
But how could that be?
The theory that the unit came up with was the existence of a manipulator.
A manipulator, huh?
That's when the special prison was established as a facility to research that theory. Some unknown power has been at work. These past several years, Inspector Cabanela has been studying these cases.
He has he?
Manipulating somebody into committing a criminal act, according to the inspector. The first case of its kind was a locked room murder involving our nation's best detective.
Are you trying to say I was somehow manipulated into shooting Alma? I appreciate the theory, but unfortunately, I don't recall being controlled by anybody. It's just not possible to manipulate another's behavior like that. My powers certainly don't work on living creatures.
That's what I thought when I first heard the theory too. However, I was seriously mistaken, and it proved to be a big mistake.
What? You mentioned a mistake. Could you tell us about it?
I suppose everybody here has the right to know. All right, fine. I'll speak out loud so that Inspector Cabanela can hear this too. There's something I'd like the two of you to hear. It's about a mistake I made. Inspector Cabanela, when you first made that report about a manipulator, I'm afraid I didn't believe it at all. Impossible, I thought. Perfectly understandable, Mr. Minister. But I was wrong. That kind of power does exist. And I learned the truth of that firsthand. What's this? A month ago, I signed the order to carry out Detective Jowd's execution. However, that act wasn't of my own volition. I was being controlled. What? You never told me about this, Mr. Minister. What's going on? This document, what am I doing? No, I mustn't sign it. Wait! Don't deliver that document! That's when it started. That's when all of my fear, despair, and suffering began. At the time, it didn't even cross my mind that I'd been manipulated, and my memory of the event was only hazy at best.
So the memory of being manipulated doesn't clearly remain, eh?
Signing execution orders is part of a justice minister's job. At the time, I just thought my psyche was rebelling against the task. But the next day it dawned on me. I remembered Inspector Cabanela's report on the existence of a manipulator. As a minister of justice, I couldn't admit what had happened to me. I only signed the execution order because I was being controlled. If something like that got out, this nation's judicial system would crumble. Besides, I had no evidence to present that I'd actually been controlled. So in the end, I couldn't admit to anybody what had happened. I suppose, but it sounds like an excuse. You should have at least told us, Mr. Minister. Yes, I know. I should have. I was running away from the problem. And then my wife found out I was worried about something.
Well, if you go around with an expression like that, I guess it's bound to happen.
I explained it to her, and she was dead set against the way I was handling it. If you don't withdraw that order and tell everyone the truth immediately, I'm moving out! And then, with the kidnapping tonight, with it thrust under my nose like that, I could no longer deny my mistake. This manipulator comes upon us from somewhere unseen. That's why I've been keeping my distance from everybody.
So, that's why you've been telling people to stay back. So there's somebody else besides me with the powers of the dead. I'm fine with that. After all, I already knew about a certain desk lamp. What I'm not fine with is the fact that person can control and manipulate living creatures. That's certainly not something I can do. Apparently, different ghosts get different ghost tricks. But I never imagined that tonight I would find out where this kind of power comes from. Where it comes from. Inspector Cabanella, this manipulator is a ghost, a departed spirit. A spirit? As a matter of fact, there's a ghost talking to us right now. What? What did you say? Jowd, don't tell me you can hear this ghost too. I'd say the only person who can't hear him is you. Spirit? Ghost? Gods in heaven. Excuse me, Mr. Minister. I suddenly have some urgent business to attend to. I recommend you think long and hard before making your final decision, sir. Inspector! This is Lynne. I'm at the park. We've been waiting to hear from you. Have you found the evidence? Well, the situation here is... it's kind of difficult to explain. Sissel, if you're there, come to the park immediately. It looks like your help is needed, Sissel. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Yeah, I guess so, huh? Well, boys, see you in a bit. Well, Justice Minister, you're a better man than I thought. Despite your shortcomings, you really do possess a kind of wisdom. A solemnity that's appropriate for your office. Lynne calls and I oblige. I take off towards Temsik Park, the place where, clearly, something big is taking place. The manipulator, the person whose very existence sheds new light on everything. Detective Jowd's crime, the execution orders, and even my own death. Could it be? Could Lynne have been manipulated into shooting me? There's some scumbag out there doing this. But what can we do? They're already dead. Temsik Park, the site of the little lady Camilla's abduction tonight, and the place where an important piece of evidence, the music box, was hidden. And years before that, where Lynne met Jowd, but... Wonder why our lady detective's looking so dejected. At least she isn't dead. But what did she find? More importantly, what's the chicken guy doing here? Just barely was able to reach this suitcase. Huh? What's he doing here? A little late. It's already ice cold. Yeah, I'm sorry you're gonna go on a bit of a ride here, Chef. Well, he didn't fall off. That could have gone a lot worse. What just happened? I wasn't even pumping my feet. The swing swings me and I sling the chicken. The swing is swung and the chicken is slung. Everything always comes back to chicken in the end. I'm not even gonna try to figure that one out. Moving on.
Well, we might have to rustle a balloon loose. Wait, it's a love letter? That was close. We almost lost our ability to... If that balloon went too far, we'd be screwed. What if... imagine if it went out into space. Well, would it still count when Earth reached dawn? I guess it does have to do with what planet you're on when you die, right? Pretty sure. So ultimately that did nothing to help us get closer to Lynne, right? No. Try again. Here we go. No. Here we go. Now what else can we do but move the swing saw? Or the seesaw. Not a swing saw. What am I saying? Alright. Well, Lynne? Oh, there you are, Sissel.
From your dejected expression, I gather. You didn't find what you were looking for.
Right. I can't find the music box anywhere. But I found something else instead. Something horrible.
Horrible? What is it?
There, in the grass. You'd better see for yourself.
It looks like a dead body.
I nearly died when I saw it. And I suppose now that we found it, we can't just leave it there, can we?
Nope, I suppose not.
Oh, it's you! Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the rock of the gods. You there!
You're talking to me, aren't you?
I have some leaflets for you. Leaflets I know you'll be very interested in. I urge you to peruse it thoroughly. Examine it in detail.
Never mind that right now. Do you remember your name?
My name? My name? What does my name matter when there are more important things to worry about?
Okay.
Come now and study these tracks with me, my brother. Come and learn about the Rock of the Gods with me. The night is no longer young. As a matter of fact, daybreak's approaching, but we are young.
Look, I don't have time to get involved in your way of life. But I am interested in your way of death. So let's go back. Back to 4 minutes before your death.
Another contact for Sissel's group, huh? Not the most valuable contact, but... And so I made up my mind. I resolved to live here in this park and defend it.
Okay. And what does that have to do with this Rock of the Gods you mentioned?
You still don't appear to understand. Oh, it's that rock that he was dead near, right? It's written quite clearly in the 4th leaflet, in great detail.
Excuse me, but, I have to use the restroom.
Wait, why was he still here? His stakeout ended, right? Oh, I get it. He died, like, hours ago. Just hold on. I'll be right there. I've located the target, beauty. A girl of the right age coming out of the right apartment building at the right time. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Good evening, young lady. Won't you come with me? It's a bad sign when a guy says that. Yeah, you see, that is what you should be doing, Camila. Oh gods, what do I do? What should I do? I have to do something. The other ghost at work.
What in the world? What just happened?
Oh, that's Mino.
Mino?
Mino the mascot, the symbol at Temsik Park.
Forget about the name of that big creepy lump of concrete. I'm talking about the way it changed direction. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. We witnessed it with our own eyes. The power of the rock of the gods. That was the power of the gods. The power of the gods saved that little girl.
And then the same power very deliberately crushed you instead.
Yes, precisely. That is called the mischief of the gods.
Was it the mischief of the gods, or was it a ghost trick? But, nah, it couldn't have been a ghost trick. No ghost trick could change the direction of something that heavy in midair. But, wait a minute. What if there was somebody with much greater powers than me?
I suppose we're about to meet him. Maybe it's time to save. Now then.
Look at that! There's another flame besides mine!
Oh, so that is the flame of a god, is it? But hold on. Your spirit's a flame too, isn't it?
Yeah, so?
Pardon me, but are you a god?
I sincerely doubt it. At the last minute, that big lump of concrete made a huge swing to one side. That was probably that flame's doing. Who could it be?
I definitely believe it's either a god or somebody god-related.
Maybe I'd better try talking to this person.
Yeah, you know, according to the Transcendentalists, or was it the German Idealists, or one of those stupid philosophical schools, humans are all just little pieces of God. So yeah. God-related, all right.
What the? This person with much greater powers than me. It's you?
Sissel!
Oh my, it's
Missile!
You look well for being dead.
Did you see? Did you see what I did? I did it! I tried really hard and I did it! I saved Miss Camila! Are you telling me I was done in by a puppy dog?
Missile, what's going on? How did you get the powers of the dead?
I'm glad you asked! After Miss Camila went out and you left, I worked like crazy to make my own path, and I did it! You really did die hitting the door over and over. Oh, or not. And then I followed Miss Camila out into the big wide world. And then, here at this park, I found her at last. Yes, you guessed it, I barked. You bet I did, and I went running after her too. As if we needed more evidence of what an unbelievable bunch of bastards these guys are. Pardon the language. And then I guess I died. And then I was unconscious for a little while? When I came to, it was all over. Poor Miss Camila. Crushed under that big, scary lump. Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, little lady. Please forgive me. Miss Camila! I had to rescue Miss Camila. It was up to me. I cried out from the depths of my heart. And then... I can't tell you how surprised I was, but I bet you understand, right?
Better than probably anybody else could.
And I remembered what you did for me, how you saved me.
So, you went back, right? Back to 4 minutes before the little lady's death.
You bet I did! Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Now's my chance, I thought. I saw the core.
I don't know. Looks pretty far.
I stretched out my paw toward the core. Oh, how I felt at that moment. I'd love for you to be able to feel it too. Go ahead, Sissel. Go ahead and try it for yourself.
He can reach that far. I can't believe it. How could you connect over such a great distance?
Well, they don't call me Missile for nothing.
And so, then you manipulated that Mino thing and threw it aside.
Right on top of my head. Well, no, actually.
Huh?
I can't manipulate things like you can, Sissel.
You can't? Then how did you...
I didn't know what to do. Then I happened to see something out of the corner of my eye. And it had a core too. A single leaf hanging from the tree. I tried reaching out to the leaf.
What in the world?
I can't manipulate things, but apparently I can swap them. As long as the two things have the same shape, that is.
Swap things with the same shape?
Go ahead and try it. Touch the swap button.
Okay.
I mean, that has a limited application, but they do have basically the same shape if viewed from the certain angle, yeah? I mean, one of them's round and the other's flat, but...
That's incredible. And so that's how you saved your mistress, is it?
And that's how I became caught up in this, is it? I'm very sorry! My powers were too meager.
Meager?
Because, you see, I saw one more. I happened to notice one more core. There was something with the exact same shape stuck in the branches of a tree.
Hey, you're right. If Mino could be swapped again with that,
then disaster wouldn't have to rain down on my head.
But what is that thing? It's too big to be a leaf. It's a football. American football.
Whatever it is, I'd much prefer it on my head than Mino.
So why don't you swap them, Missile?
I couldn't. I can stretch my paw out a little further than you can, Sissel. But this was just too far for me. I couldn't reach. I must admit, it's a fascinating spectacle of a death if I do say so myself. I kept retrying over and over, seeing if there was anything I could do.
I bet there's something you can do now.
Huh?
If we work together, you and me.
Sissel, you think so?
I don't plan on letting anybody die in front of me tonight. If you think you can help me.
Of course! Naturally!
So we're gonna drop that Mino thing in a different spot. Okay, let's try it. Let's go back again to 4 minutes before.
Wouldn't it make more sense to try and just have the guy with the leaf? Or then again, if he didn't have the leaflets, he wouldn't get the box, would he?
Alright, let's get started. 4 minutes from now, you'll swap Mino with the leaf. And then you'll have to swap Mino with something else. Something with the same shape.
Oh, I believe that's a rugby ball.
Okay, rugby ball, huh?
Oh, well. I'm sure it's a cousin of the American football. Not familiar with many sports.
But with the rugby ball where it is now, Missile can't reach it. So that means I have to move it closer somehow. Looks like you and I will have to work together on that one, Missile.
Okay, I'm ready. Whenever you want to use my swap trick, just touch the... Okay, I'll touch that, the doggy icon. That way you'll be able to control me. And then, if you touch the Sissel icon... Together we can stop Mino from hurting anybody.
You're a good doggy. Alright, Missile. Your powers are the key this time.
Okay, I'm ready. I can swap anything that has the same shape. Just call on me if you want anything you... Okay, yeah.
Probably the best thing to do is just try a bunch of things and see how it goes. And if I see something, we can swap. I should use the...
Yeah, I know, Sissel. Thanks. I mean, they're doing it so that if you haven't played for a while, you can... Yeah, we can't get back there now. Well... He can reach so much further. It's amazing. How about, can we swap, the baseball with the tire? I mean, they're not really the same shape. They're only the same shape from a certain angle, but that works for this. Oh, wait a minute. Could we swap the tire and this thing? No, we can't. Anyway, I see there are many kinds of ghost tricks in the world. Many kinds. Now here comes that guy.
Phew, here you come already.
I swore to myself not to repeat my mistake.
Mistakes?
When somebody's in trouble, you should lend them a hand. Otherwise, you'll definitely regret it. And now the recklessness of youth has taken over, giving me lightning-fast speed. I've been thinking, if we could stop this man from running, maybe he wouldn't get squished. It won't be easy to stop me once the recklessness of youth has taken over.
Stop him, huh?
Well, alright. I mean, I can try, can't I? So, I guess I better go to Dogi. I mean, listen. I've been thinking ways we can stop this crazy man. Yeah, we can't swap out the swing for anything else that I can see. What about, going up here? Look at this funny flattened ball! Yeah, I know, you guys. This is the whole point. You don't need to explain that it's the same shape as Mino again. You did this like 2 minutes ago.
We have to find a way to get this ball closer to that Mino thing.
Knock it down from the tree, I say.
There must be something we can do.
Yeah, like knocking it down from the tree. If only Sissel could get up there. Is the tire going to slow him down? I feel like it might. Or not so much. What do you think of my lightning-fast pace?
I wish you'd knock it off, that's what I think. We don't have time to prepare. I think we're going to have to stop him from running.
As far as I can see, the only way to do that is to use the playground equipment.
The what?
You know, the seesaw, the swing, those things. Precisely. Except, there is one more piece of equipment, to be exact.
Stop him with the equipment, eh? Maybe I should rethink things here.
Yeah, maybe we should start over then. Not a matter of picking up clues, Sissel. It's a matter of stopping this running man. The spirit of the park.
Very well.
So here we are, ready to do some basketballing. Some mad b-balling. You know. Or, yeah, let's go back to him. Because we... Wait a minute. Oh, he's in it. Well, we don't want him there. Have him be here. And now we switch back to Sissel, because this will allow him to get to the other side of the seesaw. Okay, and here comes the forest spirit crazy man.
Or maybe he's the one who sees the truth.
Anyway. So, now... Yeah, we're stuck here. Well, actually, I'm kind of curious what happens if we do this. Okay, it's the same trick on either side. Well, anyway... Oh, no, it's not gonna work. We have to wait for this trick to end. Wow, this is getting rather... Well, here's what we'll do. We'll swap these. And next, while he's spinning around on the big circle bar thing, Sissel is going to get into the tree, because I just feel like it'll be helpful for him to be in that tree. It's just this hunch I have. Okay. Oh, I should probably switch to him. Okay, so now he's inside the ball where he needs to be. Okay, so we have that. Now that we're there, let's go back to our ally here. He climbs up to the boot. It's this sense I have that it'll be very important for us to get up to the boot. So next, he goes up to the flyer. Oh, darn. That flyer hasn't landed on the tree yet, so it's no good to us. Okay. Man, once you have a taste of a longer reach as a ghost, it's hard to go back. Let's just see if this works. I hope this works! Darn it! Okay, so it's too late to succeed this time. I'm just curious what's going to happen if I, say, knock the umbrella down. I mean, I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna fall. Oh. We need to have the basketball go up into the air and cause the umbrella to spin around and knock down the ball that's shaped like Mino. One ball after another. We're gonna move old Missile over to his destination. The rugby ball. Oh, wasn't I calling it a foosball? Well, I'm wrong. Look, I know nothing about sports other than what they look like, basically. What playing the sport looks like, I mean. If you show me a person playing football and a person playing basketball, I can tell you which is which, but not much more than that. They've always struck me as the most boring thing in the world, maybe after something like Being in Nothingness. The hair-raising moment is the balloon transferring to another branch scene. Damn it, we took too long! Wait a minute. I know how we can get up there sooner. By being in the basketball! Oh boy, this is an elaborate scheme. But maybe, just maybe, it'll get us somewhere. He's about to jump any second now. Oh, wait a minute. It's like a cutscene when he jumps. No, it's too late. But maybe there's some way we could say... Wait, what? Oh, that was so close! If it hit the ball, it could have knocked it down!
Is that all this umbrella can be used for? For knocking the rugby ball down?
Don't forget about my powers! And don't forget about my recklessness of youth! Yeah, okay. You guys keep on... Hold on. Is there something else around here with the shape of that umbrella, though? I don't think so. I was just thinking that maybe there's some way we could get Sissel to get into the to the swing, so that he can, say, get the swing tangled up in this, and maybe it'll take another second or something. But I don't think that's what'll happen. No. This is, I think, by a wide margin, the most difficult thing we've tried to get through here so far. Fine, let's try again, and you know what? I'm looking up a guide, because I've been beaten. I've been beaten. If I were in Sissel's shoes right now, this is where I would lose. That's not true. If I were in Sissel's shoes, I would try this over and over and over again. Because I'd be determined that there was some way to do it. But the difference here is that in Sissel's case, he's not losing any time by doing this, because he's resetting time and time freezes and when he's ghosting and stuff. But in my case, I am losing time. Precious, precious time! That's the most valuable resource we have! So I'll do what I must. Sissel needs to knock down the umbrella, as I thought, and he has to do it before the basketball is flung through the air by the seesaw, as I thought. But what I did not understand, or rather what I missed, well, it's always these little things you overlook. Subtle details, or not so subtle. We can make him take longer. There's a trick we can do on the globe climber. This is my blind spot. This is what I hadn't seen all along. Come on! Okay, here we go. I might have already taken too long. It's hard to be sure about these things. But I really hope I didn't. Really hope. Okay. Okay. Good. We have to do 2 tricks on this, though. So hopefully I'll do them in time. Alright, and now we just need to... Well, it's fine. We'll be able to get to the rugby ball in just a second. When it's knocked down. I think. I didn't actually look at the guide beyond missing the thing about the center of the globe, and seeing that it described what I was already doing. So Sissel noticed this from the beginning. It's just that I did not. Yeah, I know! This is... You guys, it's not the time to talk about the rugby ball! I know! I am well aware you've repeated this over and over! I mean, what are we up to, like 6 or 7 times now? Quit it! I know I need to knock the bloody ball out of the tree!
Wow, I so did not see that coming. Never thought the umbrella would catch the ball.
That's exactly what I thought, actually, so what can I say? Did you see that? The tree branch! It shook a little! I think I saw it shake too. If it only shook a little more, it would knock that terrible rugby ball down! From this terrible tree!
Maybe it just needs a little more weight.
I'm sure we can do this. We just have to put our heads together.
Everything looks good so far. We just need one more step.
Well, you want a little more weight, huh? Well, I'm afraid this will just make the ball fall, but sure.
Oh! There! We moved the ball. What do you think, Missile?
With the ball there, I think I can do it.
In just a few seconds, you'll swap Mino with the leaf. And then from there, you can swap Mino one more time. The final moment is near, Missile. Are you ready?
You bet! All right, Missile. Let's do this. We just have to wait for Mino to appear above him. Well, this'll really be at the last second, won't it? And it'll land right behind him. It will be very startling. Okay. Come on. Come on, this is... Okay. It's about to fall. And then he pushes it into this, and now it's dropping. But the leaf is going to be swapped out. Just so. And now... Okay, watch me, Sissel. Here I go.
The finishing touches. You can do it, Missile. Swap Mino with that ball.
There, how's that? My head has been spared. Truly, that was a try worthy of the gods.
And now Mino's right where he belongs.
We did it again, didn't we? Didn't we? Now nobody has to die.
Except for one brave little somebody.
Huh?
I'm talking about you, Missile.
Oh, me? I guess you're right. I'm still dead, aren't I?
So now let's go back and save your life.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
Now that I think about it, I think I want to stay dead a little longer.
What?
When I was alive, I couldn't even help Miss Camila when she was When I was alive, I couldn't even help Miss Camila when she was in trouble. I want to be able to protect Miss Camila. And to do that, I need these powers I have now.
I see.
Perfectly understandable. Even I wish I had powers like that.
Hey, we just saved you. Don't wish your life away already.
Oh, of course. You're right.
Okay, Missile, have it your way. By the way, Mr. Reckless Youth, there's a certain detective who needs that music box you found. When we get back to the present time, could you give it to her?
Certainly. You have my word. Let's go back then to the present. Yeah, if he got crushed still with the music box. Of course, there's not a music box at all.
And so Camila ended up in the hands of the kidnappers. We weren't able to change that part. Lynne listened to my story without saying anything. I'm sorry. I wish there was something else I could have done.
No, you did the best you could. I'm sure she's all right, after all. After all, she has me! Missile, are you in there? Miss Lynne, leave Miss Camila to me. I know I don't look like much right now, but I'm sure I can help her. Missile. Miss Lynne!
See ya, Missile.
I'm going to leave it up to Missile.
It kinda looks like Missile is being left up to the wind.
No! I have something to give you. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods.
Aren't you forgetting your promise?
Oh, pardon me, pardon me. My apologies. This is for you. Oh! You kept the music box safe, didn't you? Thank you. Not at all. I was only doing what the Rock of the Gods would have wanted.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
He's mesmerized by my beauty. Hey, the cat's not allowed to get your tongue. Excuse me, but are you... No, it couldn't be. Have we met before? Aren't you that little girl from that time? I'll never forget it. It was 10 years ago in this park. 10 years ago? Are you talking about...
Have you met this strange man before, Lynne?
I don't remember, but he said 10 years ago in this park. I suppose he witnessed the mugging. It could only be one, or it wasn't really a mugging, was it? It could only be one thing that I can think of.
Looks like I'd better talk to Mr. Leaflet here.
I figured. I just wanted to confer with Lynne first. This is a respect thing. Here in this park, the gods surely control fate. Today, 10 years from that day, we meet once again. If that isn't the power of the gods, then what else is it?
It could just be coincidence. But apparently you know our lady detective here. Could you tell us about it? About what happened 10 years ago?
Yes, of course. I was actually about to do just that.
What's this Rock of the Gods you keep mentioning?
Don't you know? It's right there in front of us. Sissel. Wait a minute. You say G-O-D-S, but do you mean D-O-G-S? Of course not. Don't be silly. This is no time for ridiculous word games. You are standing just above the Rock of the Gods now. Take a good look at that monument. Monument? The Rock of the Gods. The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there these 10 years. Ever since that day it flew down from the heavens and showed us a miracle.
A miracle?
So this rock you've been talking about is a meteorite? Precisely! It dropped from the sky on that day 10 years ago. Yes, of course. Surely you know all about it. Me? That day I just happened to be passing through this park. I had no idea that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down and, through the gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl.
Now just calm down and drop that weapon.
Stay back! If you come any closer, I'll shoot her! I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly. I knew I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. The tension was so thick, it was painful. just when I couldn't stand it any longer. That's when it happened. The sky suddenly burned bluish white. When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it. One of those beautiful fragments pierced into the criminal's back. The judgment of the gods was brought down on the park that day. 10 years ago, the little girl that was you was saved by the Rock of the Gods. Oh my, I can't believe it. The Rock of the Gods was given the name Temsik, and still today, it lies sleeping deep in the park's earth. I never knew about this Temsik. I always thought Detective Jowd was the one who saved me. You were very young then, and you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage. Of course you wouldn't remember.
But that's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. It's strange you never heard of it, Lynne.
It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what happened. I avoided the news and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know anything about it. The meteorite was named Temsik after the name of this park that it fell in. And then the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Now an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning this park into a housing site. I'll never forget the miracle I witnessed that day. And so I've taken up residence in this park and am trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. That is my mission. I see. Then what did Jowd feel guilty about? I'm taking you with me, Sissel.
So, 10 years ago, the little girl that was Lynne wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that. But Detective Jowd, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Temsik thing. And if he knew... what was that confession of his all about? The rocks of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago changed the destinies of many people's lives, like the ripples on a pond when a pebble is dropped in. With every answer I get, I learn about a new mystery. Will I be able to break the chain of mysteries before dawn? Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decided to meet up again at the minister's office. Besides, there are a few things I want to ask Detective Jowd.
We found the music box, Detective Jowd.
Good job, Lynne. I knew you would. Once everything had been resolved, I wanted you to give this to him.
Him? You mean Inspector Cabanella, right?
I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me.
Detective Jowd.
Now then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing it, you know. See? He calls that a knack. Looks more like brute strength to me. Here you are. You should find the scorch marks on the grip.
Scorch marks?
When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's a kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears.
Why would little Camilla use something like that?
I don't know. Maybe because she's a detective's daughter. Not leaving any evidence behind and all that.
In the case report, there was mention of some scorch marks.
When it happened, Camilla was watching from her hiding place. She saw the flame run to the gun, something she naturally didn't include in her design. I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with a picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame, too. And those marks should match up with the ones on the gun.
In other words,
it proves the contraption existed there in that room that day.
and it didn't work the way that your little girl intended, is that right?
Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design.
But that angle was never brought up in court. And so, as Justice Minister, I must call off the execution at this point. I knew I was right. It wasn't Detective Jowd. Now we can finally prove that. Thank goodness.
Thank you, Lynne. In those eyes of yours, I see the eyes of that little girl from 10 years ago.
I'm glad that you feel the way you do, Lynne. But there's some words I want to have with Jowd first. Think about it, Lynne is finally vindicated after all this time.
Sissel, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would be gone by now, without ever having known any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened. Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and got involved in their fates. And the only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. But things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow. I just know it. And that's why I need to ask you a few more questions, in order to find the truth about us. Fair enough. Fire away.
Sissel told me all about it, Detective Jowd. About the manipulator.
Yes, and it looks like this manipulator really did a number on the minister, too.
Ah!
Please don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him.
Oh. Sissel, do you think that's what happened to me too?
Huh? What are you talking about, Lynne? Don't tell me. You were manipulated too! There's always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. That image of the one who shot me. But now, I see the possibility of a new explanation.
But who is it? And why did they do it? Well, that's what we gotta find out. That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it?
That's right.
Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. I understand how you might have forgotten with all the excitement of tonight and dying over and over.
No surprises there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine.
Right? I knew it! See, Detective Jowd?
No, I'm afraid I don't see. I told Detective Jowd about it. Told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight, in a completely different place. That's very strange indeed. A junkyard on the edge of town? I've never even heard of the place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption.
You haven't?
Huh. That old pigeon guy. Who in the world is he?
That's a good question. Did he show Camila how to make the contraption? Or did he have some hand in sabotaging it? Since his contraption worked the way that the sabotaged contraption worked. His murder machine. Strange, as goofy and impractical as that machine is. I suppose a stunned person is not a too swift target, huh?
Detective Jowd, you must have heard this name before. Temsik. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there. So you found out about that, did you? I hear that meteorite saved little Lynne's life. That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynne that day. But in that case, I don't get it. If it's true, doesn't it mean that you didn't steal somebody's life away?
What are you talking about?
Detective Jowd, you told me that 10 years ago. The person who killed the perpetrator in the park was you.
What? But it was the meteorite?
I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away. No question about it. It was entirely my fault. I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. At that point, I was already a murderer.
That's not true! You were trying to save me!
Lynne, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it.
Huh?
On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place.
Another place?
Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who was being questioned escaped.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was a young and green detective, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic and got you involved, Lynne. It was all my fault.
Detective Jowd.
All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynne.
So the man who grabbed me died that day.
These last 10 years, I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, when my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was fate, my punishment for what I'd done. I painted pictures in my cell, nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life and didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember. The final face. The face of the man in the park that day. Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was my face. Are you telling me I was the man in the park that time? That's right. That face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. Of the man who was pronounced dead at the scene.
But hold on, Detective Jowd. That can't be true. I just met Sissel for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me.
By the way, the name that I know the man in the park that day by isn't Sissel. What? From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy?
Mr. Minister. Inspector Cabanella, where are you? Just be quiet and listen. This is our demand.
What?
Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage.
What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanella?
And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted? Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life is a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever.
What in the world? What's going on? Inspector Cabanella! The rock from the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And even now, the chain continues to grow ever longer. Inspector Cabanella's call proved that to us. And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing than when I started.
It's possible you're a twin brother of that person who died in the park. I would say it's possible that it's just a picture he chose for himself as a ghost, but it couldn't be because we saw his body. And so is Cabanella, he's working with the kidnappers, but is he possessed? Or is he just a bad guy? I mean, he has been our enemy the whole time.
10 years ago, a man named Sissel took a little girl named Lynne hostage, and then was killed by a meteorite fragment.
He wasn't named Sissel, didn't you hear Jowd?
Tonight, a man named Sissel met a detective named Lynne at a junkyard on the edge of town, and then was killed by a bullet. But the scene I find waiting for me on the other end of the phone line feels like the final nail in the coffin of my lost memory. I see myself. There you are, Commander Sith. Finally.
Sissel! Where have you been, my good man? We've been looking everywhere for you.
Had a little unfinished business to take care of. Didn't think it would take this long. What about your people? They sure went out of their way to mess me up.
I say, I believe we fulfilled every last one of your conditions in our little deal. What right do you have to complain about anything outside our bargain?
We can talk about that when we get together.
This will be our last communication by telephone. We'll arrive in 1 hour. I look forward to seeing you, Sissel.
Dawn is approaching. The darkness surrounding my own mystery is deep. But I know it's always darkest before the dawn.
Yes. We're nearing the final stages of our little deal, my good man.
Yes, sir. All preparations are complete, sir.
And we just had a report, sir. Lights have been spotted, sir. Have they now? By all means, let me have a look. I suppose this is some kind of politician from a rival country?
Yes.
We're very close.
We will now disconnect from the communication cable and have no service until we arrive, sir.
Very well. Hey, is Sissel gonna be stuck here?
Nice try, Inspector Cabanela. But you could never stop me. See ya, sucker. So, that submarine guy and his people have a deal going with me, do they? If that's the case, they probably aren't the ones who killed me, right? Anyway, there's definitely something behind the inspector's death. I think I'd better talk to him.
Well, Cabanela! I see that, it looks like you said all that because you had a gun to your head. And it also looks like saying all it didn't do you much good. So, Sissel's some kind of crime boss, huh?
Hey, do you think you could wake up for me? Oh boy, still unconscious, huh? I guess he hasn't been dead for very long then. I'll just go ahead and go back to 4 minutes before his death. I'm a little nervous about what I might see there, though. But if that's where I'm gonna find my answers, I can't run away from it.
So, the person in the park was not named Sissel, but this guy who just shot Cabanela is Sissel. And the hitmen were after Lynne because she was against Sissel? Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call.
That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. It gives me complete control over the top police specter in the country. Ugh. What's the matter? All those broken bones smart a bit? What's it like to feel pain? Does it make you feel alive? Why are you doing this? Now, is that any kind of question for a top inspector to ask? Isn't it obvious? Revenge, of course. Revenge on all the people who stole my life away 10 years ago. Don't be ridiculous. It was a meteorite that stole your life. Or have you forgotten that? Wrong! I was murdered by all of you! Detective Jowd, who chased me down and forced me into a corner, even though I was innocent. Lynne, that girl who was right there where I was running. Lynne? She was just an innocent little girl playing in the park. If that brat hadn't been there, I never would have thought of taking a hostage. That's the most self-centered garbage I've ever heard. And finally you, Inspector Cabanilla. Me. If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid. You were so proud of your spotless record. And my case was the one blot on it, wasn't it? Only two people know the real truth, me and Detective Jowd. I bet tonight's execution will be quite a relief to you, won't it? One of the people who know about the stain on your record will disappear for good. That's why you didn't help him escape from prison. That's the kind of guy you are. I got nothing to say to you. You'd never listen anyway. He got. Now then, Inspector. Time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coat. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Temsik. Revenge? That's what I'm up to. None of this makes any sense. Hey, man. Mind telling me what's going on? Inspector Cabanilla. My head is spinning, baby. Am I to understand that Cabanilla character who just got shot is me? That's right. And you're supposed to be the scoundrel there who just shot me. I guess so. But you couldn't be, could you? Huh? After all, the guy in the red suit just walked out the door, right? So, who are you? I guess I just have to face it. I'm not that Sissel guy. I'm somebody who's searching for himself. That's why I'm here to save you. At the very least, you have information about that guy in red. Information I need. So you came on a rescue mission now, did you? Nothing like the sound of that, baby. Because there's a very important life here somewhere. A life valuable to this nation. Okay, so do your thing, baby. So does Cabanilla remember ghosts then? I guess he must. So, are you a manipulator too? I have ghost tricks, powers of the dead, yeah, but I can't control living creatures. Anyhoot, I think you'd better be very careful. That guy in red is a manipulator. Naturally, he knows about powers like yours.
If he realizes you're here, things might get a little sticky.
You're right. I'd better be careful.
So... wait, he still has the steam radiating from him like he's a corpse.
Look at him! There's that something emanating from his body. Is it really the sign of having special powers of the dead?
This is really kind of freaking me out. I am not used to being in a position where other people have ghost tricks who, aren't my ally. At least he doesn't sense us here.
The top of this bookshelf is lined with books. This one on top is balanced so precariously it's a wonder it doesn't fall off. How did the old pigeon guy even reach up here? And I wonder if he makes his pigeon fetch it for him.
It's a weird thing to ask. The issue is, if we do something and this guy notices us, well, what can he do? We're already dead. But at the same time, I don't know, can he set back time too? Well, Sissel? Maybe he's some sort of revenant? That would explain how he died all those years ago, but it sounds like there was some serious, seedy stuff going on back then. So we'll have to wait for this guy to begin burning his hand on the stove. He must be immune to pain. Once again, if he's a revenant...
Well, what's going on? I've never seen the ghost world like this. So you're here, are you? He's sensed my presence. I noticed you. You think you can stop me, do you? I don't know why you're wearing my face, but you might as well give up now. I control everything. Damn it! Everything! Including the life of this police inspector in white. Wait! Don't shoot! This other me knows the powers of the dead well.
Who wouldn't notice what you just did? You were practically shouting, "Look at me, baby!"
Looks like it might be hard to save you under these circumstances. I guess I can't use any of my powers right in front of him like that. Guess I'd better rewind the clock again and see if I can pick up any other clues.
The issue was I figured that it was behind his head. I didn't know that it would fall and tumble in front of him like that. So, he can't directly sense we're here. He doesn't notice Sissel moving around. But he does notice... he does notice us. He, if we did something behind him, he might not notice. So, Sissel at least has less sense for where the dead are than, Beauty. Ironically enough. This is really... the plot is thickening. So yeah, we can't get to, and so now he's talking. That was a real shocker, baby. Didn't he feel that? He grilled his own fist to crispy perfection.
It's just not natural, is it? It's kind of hard to move around here.
He has the same kind of power as you do, after all. If you do anything too obvious, he'll notice you.
Under these circumstances, I don't know if there's a way to save you.
Ouch! Don't admit that right in front of me, baby! Perhaps I needed to be in that kettle he knocked on the floor. Well, that was fast. I thought Cabanela shot him, though. Hey, I'm gonna die all over again, man!
But what can I do when he's right there watching?
Well, nothing's going to get solved just standing around. When in doubt, just keep moving. That's my secret.
Yes, I noticed you just keep moving quite a bit. I'll just try going everywhere I can and look for a path.
Well, I don't think we're gonna save him this time. It looked like we might have had a few seconds to knock down the helmet when his back was turned. But once again, what good that could do us, I can't imagine. Yeah, we might be able to get a path downstairs if the pot here is knocked onto the floor. I suppose that policeman with the crush on Lynne, was he still here? You know, when we saw that pigeon guy earlier, I figured that the superintendent of the junkyard was just some weirdo. I guess, though, that he's really something to potentially be reckoned with.
Look at this place!
They destroyed the evidence.
What in the world happened here?
Think I'm starting to remember. Something bad happened here, and now there's another death lying hidden here.
What? Another death?
Didn't I tell you from the start? Didn't I say there was a very important life, valuable to the nation here?
I thought you were talking about you.
Humph. I'm just a crazy character in a white coat, baby.
Hey, come to think of it, where is that old pigeon guy?
So, Sissel killed the old pigeon guy, did he? Yeah, he was doing some kind of... He was studying rocks, wasn't he? He was studying the meteorite.
This is some kind of device.
Very astute observation.
Sorry, my memory isn't working.
Yeah, mine isn't working too well right now either. I do remember seeing somebody use this equipment, though. We might have to open this. There we go. Sure hope Sissel doesn't come down and find Sissel here.
Excuse me. Are you awake?
Of course. I never sleep during work hours. Professor! Do you recognize me? There's only one crazy character in a white coat that I know of.
He hasn't lost his memory.
I'm not the type who likes losing things. But never mind that. Cabanela, this is quite a surprising guest you've brought along with you. Pretending like he didn't just blow up the place.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, this is a different guy. And I'm his guest, actually. Said he came to rescue us. Unlike you, my sharp friend, he still hasn't gotten his memory back. Humph, pitiful.
Ouch, that hurts. Anyway, now we'll be going back to 4 minutes before your death. In order to change your fate, that is.
But aren't we already in the past, man?
But we can go back even further. I've done it before. I still don't see a path to saving Inspector Cabanela. But if we go back further, maybe I'll find a lead.
There are a lot of ghosts running around tonight. I think there must be at least 3. Including Sissel, or 4 including Missile.
How many times do I have to tell you, Professor? This place is dangerous.
Don't be daft. I can't leave now. He's completely dead. But just as I thought, I'm getting a reading. This is the source of his powers. If I remove it...
He's not dead! He's just not there! The true form of the manipulator isn't something you can detect. It's a spirit!
Humph, ridiculous.
So you figured it all out, huh? You're a clever man, Inspector Cabanella. So it's really true! I wasted a lot of time tonight because of you, Inspector. But it's all just like you said. I died 10 years ago. This body is just a vessel, a shell. I control everything. This shell, people, just like I controlled the Justice Minister and Lynne. So it's true. You were manipulating my baby that time. You made her shoot your shell. But why? Why would you do a thing like that? To create conclusive evidence. You know, on that security tape. Now she's a murderer too. She'll suffer just like Jowd did. Now then, Professor. I'm afraid it's time for you to die. I don't have any grudge against you. I'm even grateful to you.
Oh yeah? So why don't you just let me live then?
I'll be leaving this country forever tonight. But before I do, I need to erase all evidence that these powers of mine exist. Along with the contraption in this room. This time the thing will work the way it was meant to, and it'll all be over. Cupid won't turn this time. He'll shoot his little arrow this way. Professor! Look out!
I'm amazed you survived, Cabanella. Dynamite, eh? When the devil did he put that there?
He planned it all out tonight. Having my baby shoot him. Having his corpse disappear. His corpse disappeared? That medical examiner. Remember him? He was a complete and utter imposter. He said he was going to take the corpse back to the lab. But he'd already made a deal with the manipulator to meet him and give him the body back. I knew we couldn't trust that blue-skinned doctor. I mean, it sounds a bit racist to say, but every blue-skinned person we've met's been a bad guy. But I wasn't going to let that happen, baby.
You saw through their plan, eh?
I noticed right away the medical examiner didn't notice the first thing about examining a body. I knew he was a fake, so I tracked him down and bought him off. Bought him off? I had him smuggle the corpse to this room. I thought we could find the source of his powers. Of course, never in my wildest dreams did I think his abilities were powers of the dead.
Anyway, there isn't much time. He's leaving the country before dawn.
And I'm gonna follow him, of course, after I save you two. But something's been nagging at the back of my mind. I remember what Ray said to me tonight. He said that spirits cease to exist when the day breaks. But if that's true, how could a spirit from 10 years ago still be here? No time for thinking now, baby! Action's the name of the game! Work your magic and take us back, even further into the past. That's the plan, Cabanella. Well, Sissel, you're not such a good guy, are you? All right, man. Jump in there and stop that explosion, would you? Easy enough for you to say.
Foolish of you to say, too. If you stop the explosion, it'll just do me in some other way.
Fair enough. Then jump in there and take care of that man in red, would you? I repeat, easy enough for you to say.
And most likely impossible to boot. That huge explosion didn't even make him bat an eye.
Well, what do you propose then, Pruff? Pray tell.
Your best bet is to save me during the explosion without him noticing.
Easy enough for you to say. Sheesh, what's with all these people? Any hoot, jump in there and do something. Save him in the explosion without... Oh, I'll just drop this trap door. That's actually going to be very simple. But we have to do it while, before the explosion is happening. I'm amazed the whole building didn't collapse, honestly. Though I'm not surprised that that fellow laid out like a mummy on the table wouldn't be too affected. He's no ordinary man. Hey, I hear a mouse. Yeah, there's a mouse down there. We can't quite reach the tire, though. And now this terrifying scene is playing out. Cabanella is really freaking out right now. I mean, can you imagine? It's already shocking enough if a person wakes up. Like, a corpse wakes up. Much less than if the corpse wakes up and is, trying to kill you. Now, I would have just dropped him down right now. Like, I could have opened that latch and made Sissel fall in, but Sissel would know what was going on. Okay. As you perhaps have already noticed, time is running out, baby! Yeah, no perhaps about it, I know. But there aren't a whole lot of things I can use my ghost tricks on in here.
Looks like it's all over.
Unless I find another path, I'm sort of at a deadlock here. Hey, I know that voice. Help me. Where are you?
Find me. Before I'm carried away!
Huh? What's with a frail-sounding call for help? He's here somewhere!
A friend of yours?
Yep, little guy that looks a little fragile, but has strength that surprise you.
Well, he's asking you to find him.
And before he's carried away, no less. But I'm almost out of time. Should I look for him? Well, we'll open this up in just a second. It probably won't work because Sissel is looking this way. But he's gonna, the dynamite is going to... Once the problem is Sissel faces him for the entire duration of the explosion. Is this too soon? That's too soon. There he is again. Farewell. Sounds like your little pal was carried away. Where was he?
Maybe you should have tried to find him somehow.
Maybe you should have looked around, from corner to corner, baby. Now what? Maybe I should start over? It's no use. I can't open it.
Could the fact that the professor is standing on it have anything to do with it?
I may look small, but I'm pretty heavy set.
You sound so proud of that fact, too.
This door. Such a pity. Too bad it doesn't open downward. Sometimes life can be so hard. Wouldn't you agree, Professor?
Yeah, that's why we're both dead.
Door that opens downward, eh? Well, I don't know how much there is that I can possibly do right now is the problem. So yeah, we have to start over. Well, it's kind of scary dealing with this Sissel guy. How ironic, right? So the reason Jowd feels so guilty about that death all those years ago is that the man was innocent. Anyway, so we know where our little friend is. He's down here. Those mice must be, working on getting him. But how can we find Missile? Because I have a feeling Missile could be pretty helpful right about now. At least there's the potential for that.
Fool! What do you think you're doing?
Just thought I'd try it out.
If you do, you're going to get the contraption set in motion.
Oh yeah.
I just thought. Humph. He just thought he'd blow me up. It's what he thought.
Oops. That was my bad. But there aren't a whole lot of things I can use my tricks on in this room.
No, I didn't think I was going to set it in motion. It says examine. I thought that's what we were going to do, and I was right. Oh, Sissel, there is no justice in revenge. Revenge narratives can work, like in a way that isn't morally repugnant, on the rare occasions that the person who the revenge is being exacted against is still... Like, if they're getting revenge against somebody and the person is still actively dangerous and harming people, that's one thing. But that's not what's going on here. I mean, this guy is selfish enough that he blames a little girl for playing in a park and forcing him to hold a gun to her head. Yeah, you're real sympathetic. He's a variable... I think the name of the killer in M was Beckert. But yeah, in that movie, in the end, the killer gives this great speech about how, he can't help how he has to kill children, and it's, because he's mentally ill and all that. But okay, so we hear this voice, and it could be coming from anywhere in here. I mean, we know where it's coming from. It's coming from the trash can there. Oh wait, no! The voice is starting now, Missile is calling to us. I never expected Missile would be the one to save us, huh? I thought this pigeon man was annoying and stupid before. I didn't realize that he was a grumpy, old, cynical professor. I like him now. Wonder what he's a professor of, exactly. I thought he was just a superintendent of a junkyard. Sissel! Here I am!
Oh, hey, it's...
Missile!
What are you doing here?
Do you really have to ask? Seriously, are you really going there?
No. That's okay, never mind. Anyway, I need your powers. Will you help me out?
Of course! Here, let me come join you. But wait, he could have done that anyway. Okay, here I am, Sissel.
Now, maybe things will flow in a new direction.
Even though the flow of the sewer is a little bit stinky. We just changed fate with just a couple seconds left. What can we do? Okay, Sissel, you get out of the way. And we'll flip back to... No, go to the one above Sissel. There we go. No, we can't do anything with the bowling ball. We have a telephone. We have a lamp. We have a ball. Okay, so we have multiple balls here, at least. Okay, let's stop that explosion! I guess Sissel explained what was going on to him, or maybe Cabanella did.
No. We can't do that.
Okay, let's take care of that man in red then!
No, we can't do that either.
We can't do this, we can't do that, what can we do?
We let the explosion happen. Then we rescue the old pigeon guy without the man in red noticing. And your powers are the key to all of it, Missile.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I'll do my best.
We're talking about a matter of seconds. We can't miss our chance.
What is our chance, though? I mean, I don't see much of a chance here. Where was that ball? No, hold on. So there's a... Was it here? No. No. Oh, here's the ball. But it's too far away. But they said we have to let the explosion happen. The issue is that he dies in the explosion. That's the problem. How can we save the professor after the explosion happens? It's already too late then. See? It's too late! So, it doesn't even matter if they are the same shape, just that they look like they're the same shape. So the question right now is, what here looks like it's the same shape? We can't swap out the telephone and the lamp, because they're not quite the same rectangular... Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go.
Those squeaky guys are making a fuss about something.
Sissel! My animal instincts are starting to surface.
If you mean you want to chase them, I think you have to be alive to do that. There must be some kind of rat feast in that trash can.
Those things usually make a bigger commotion than that.
A bigger commotion, huh?
Oh. What exactly are they doing here? Oh, here we go. If we could swap out that door the professor is on for this lid.
Now that's what I'd call some proper commotion.
Making that trash can dance. Truth be told, I feel a bit like dancing now myself. It's getting harder and harder to hold my wild instincts back.
What a dangerous bunch.
I suppose so. But now what? What can I do with this lid? I mean, if I could swap that lid for the door here, that would be perfect, because they have the same shape. The issue is, how am I gonna do this? My only hope is that they're gonna knock the lid off the trash can, and so they... Oh boy. Missile. Missile! It's a good thing we all happen to be looking at it from this angle. Now it's gonna settle down. And we're pretty much out of time here is the problem, but let's see what happens if we swap it now. Cabanela, you blocked Sissel's view. The evil Sissel. Probably the real Sissel.
Sorry, little pigeon. As for you, Inspector, I have a little job for you.
I can't move. I think I have 4 or 5 broken bones.
I don't mind. It won't prevent me from manipulating you. It might make it hurt a little bit when I move you, though. Quite a bit, actually. Damn you!
Sissel, you monster. Jowd, I'm not too sorry that you killed him. Although, then again, none of this would have happened if he hadn't been taken in, an innocent man. Apparently. I mean, we're taking his word for it. I don't know that we should.
I can't believe it. You lot actually pulled it off.
Sorry, Inspector Cabanela. I couldn't do anything to help you.
And there I am, a poor broken heap of arms and legs. But no matter, I enjoyed the show. The magic disappearing act, that is. Nothing like it, baby.
Yeah, except, unlike a normal magic trick, I'm the one that managed to vanish without a trace here.
Now we just need to save Cabanela.
What's the matter? You look like you'd rather be dead, not that you aren't.
I was just remembering the fact that right about now, the real me is giving the poor justice minister a real fright.
Oh, that phone call? Yeah. He was pretty upset.
Excuse me, minister? Or mister, not minister. You really shouldn't be mean like that.
And what's this lively little creature? Oh, this little doggy is the warrior who keeps Camila safe. Or he would be if he was actually still full of life. Camila. Gods in heaven! What a terrible thing. That poor little girl, taken hostage.
It's a cruel twist of fate indeed.
Wait just a minute! Miss Camila is a hostage!
Yes, we're sorry, little warrior.
Miss Camila! A hostage! What's a hostage?
Anyway, Inspector Cabanela, it's time to save your life now.
But you couldn't get very far when you tried before, am I right? But this time it's different, right, Sissel?
That's right. With us working together, it's a whole different situation. We'll save the Inspector in white, and then we'll go rescue Camila, okay?
Okay, let's hurry up and get through this.
Gee, kids, you're making me feel like an afterthought. All right, let's get started. Inspector Cabanela's upstairs. So our first step is to get up there.
Sissel, I'll go up first and wait for you.
Thanks, Missile.
Okay, lovey-dove, we need your help. Carry this measuring device upstairs. It has Mr. Ghost in it, so don't drop it.
Oh. Maybe Sissel and Missile combined are going to be able... They're going to be capable of, Oh. Oh! Thanks. I appreciate it.
It's stuck on something. Won't budge.
Maybe the man in white put a curse on it.
Yeah, like a message. Do something to help me.
Oh, that's spooky. If I have a message for you, I'll tell you myself. Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead. Stop messing with the battered old hoist and do something to help me. You heard him, Sissel.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, there you go. There you are, Sissel.
Sorry for the wait, Missile. 4 minutes from now, the inspector will be killed by a gun.
You just jump in there and stop him from firing, would you?
Here you go again with that stuff.
Besides, doesn't make any sense. You stop him from firing, he'll just kill you some other way.
Wait a minute. That sounds familiar.
Yep, same situation as mine. Your best bet this time around is to allow him to shoot and then save Inspector Cabanella without him noticing.
Phew, it's even worse than last time.
Anywho, jump in there and do something. Okay, I'm ready to jump in, Sissel. Don't forget, whenever you... Yeah, I know. So what around here is there? If we could swap something with that book. It is precariously balanced, right? But what here has the same shape as the book? I'm not sure that so much does. Yeah, we can't get up until the pot falls. We could swap the knit hat for the construction cap, but I don't know why that would help us at all. Suppose we could exchange the teapot for the hat? They're kind of close, but I don't think they're close enough is the issue. Yeah, they're not close enough. Which makes sense, I mean, why would they be? Actually, could we get into the ladder? Nope, we can't. So Sissel burns his hand for a little while. Then he points and begins telling Cabanella, you know, something to try and demoralize him, I'm sure. Oh, darn. We can't get back up there without swiveling the lamp around. And by the time we've done that, Sissel will notice. It really is kind of hard to believe that Sissel is... Well, we don't really know Sissel. We only know this ghost who may or may not be Sissel. Well, I guess we could open this, but what good could that possibly do? Well, let's do it anyway. Oh, did you see that? The bad Sissel turned around.
Do you have to call him that? But yeah, maybe this is our chance to try some ghost tricks.
This is the only time he takes his eyes off me, too.
You have something to do it now.
Time to take the first steps towards saving the inspector.
Okay, fine. I guess we do have to swivel this around then as the... Well, actually... What about... No, we can't. I thought maybe we could switch the top of the lamp for the hat. Not sure why we would. But, damn it! No use even bothering now. It's a good thing the bad Sissel cannot set back time, or we would have lost. We couldn't win. Man, he sure came back to life a lot more quickly that time. Then again, it wasn't part of his plan, was it? Yikes, I'm a little scared right now. Why didn't he die? Because he's already dead. He died 10 years ago. I knew full well he wouldn't die if I shot him.
Then why did you go to the trouble of shooting him at all?
Time's almost up. That's enough chit-chat.
But now the situation has changed slightly. These last split seconds are our chance.
What could we do? We can't actually possess the gun, because if we could... Well, what about Sissel? No, there's nothing Sissel can do. So... we have a helmet. No, Sissel, let's go back to you. Right now, let's just go into the ladder. How about? Actually, what would happen if we moved the ladder? No, that'd be too obvious. Or, would it? I don't know with these things. Is there anything here we can swap? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, let's see what happens if we move it. Yeah, he doesn't notice. Don't know what good swapping these will do, but maybe some good, I guess. Oh, we can swap the knit hat for the book. They really are playing with perspective. What? Oh, I was in the wrong object. Hope that didn't already make us take too long. It might have. I mean, it's very possible. So now, with his back turned to us, we'll swap these two. For some reason. What good does that do us, though? Like, why would we want to swap out the hat? Like, what purpose would that serve? Darn it, no! No, go to swap. What are you saying? Well, would you look at that? Right on the hook! I love knit hats. So warm. And most of all, soft.
Hey, now that I'm looking at it, that's the same shape.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but why? This is going to be so hard, just because drawing a line directly from the hat to the... when you move the line, they incline automatically towards the nearby cores. Darn it! Yeah, well... He's about to turn the lamp around. If that lamp were out of the way, this might be doable. The issue is, it's not out of the way, and we can't move it without him noticing. I don't get that. I made a straight path from the helmet to the knit hat. Although, why am I? Like, what could this do? Well, let's wait till it swivels around. Here we go. Right now. Right now. No, right now. No, it's not!
No, wait! Our chance is coming up.
This last split second, right? Leave it to me!
Would you look at that? The bullet is hanging in midair between the gun and the inspector's forehead.
Now's our chance. I'm hearing the bullet right now. Let's swap this little thing with something else.
What?
It's our only hope. There's gotta be something here with the same shape and direction as the bullet.
I never saw a bullet before. It has such a cute little shape, doesn't it?
Okay, got it. Now I know what it's shaped like.
Some bullets do have rather odd, squat shapes, don't they? I think they do. I don't have as much experience with guns as some folks.
I don't think he's noticed. Looks like you pulled off another magic disappearing act.
And now I say again, I love knit hats. So warm, and most of all, soft.
Did I do all right? You did a fine job, little one. You saved another life.
And now keep doing it too, over and over.
What I saw in just these 4 minutes gave me all the answers I've been looking for.
All our research these past 10 years pales in comparison, right, Professor?
So you two are working together?
That's about the size of it, yeah. Who would believe a story about a manipulator? So we pursued it ourselves, just the two of us.
I'm quite a crazy character myself, after all.
Okay, let's hurry back to our own time. We have to rescue Miss Camila.
You're right, Missile. And there's a certain guy I have to follow, too.
Cabanela will remember to lay on the ground, and Sissel will leave without seeing that hat on his head. The bad Sissel.
After completing his revenge on Inspector Cabanela, the man in red left. And now a new story is about to unfold in a new present.
I have a feeling, you old crazy character.
They're gonna harp on this phrase now that Cabanela used it, huh? Hey there, Prof! We're both alive, I see. Yeah, nothing like it, baby. But I don't know if I'm getting old or what. I've got a few aches and pains here and there. Used to be a little thing like an explosion wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, right. Like I'm going to believe that. So what? Guy in red's gone, eh?
Just in case, I posted a special investigation units all around the building. Let's just pray the boys came through for us. Can you even... Yeah, wouldn't think you'd be able to walk. Damn it! You picked a bad time not to listen to me, body of mine. If I knew things were gonna end up like this, I would have tried to die in that explosion, baby. That way I could have been dancing after Big Red by now.
I might be able to erase deaths, but it's true I can't do much about injuries. But really, you shouldn't talk that way.
Yeah, sorry. I suppose you're right. I just hate feeling so helpless. It was right there within my grasp. All our plans were resting on tonight, and then this had to happen.
I guess he's thinking about the spotless record. It's not too late, Inspector. We still have a chance. Maybe I can catch him.
Say, you're right. That's not a bad idea. I'll cooperate with you fully. Go ahead and fire away with any questions you like, Mr. Ghost.
That guy mentioned revenge.
You see, this is so great, finally getting down to business with Cabanela, who knows so much.
Revenge against the people who stole his life away 10 years ago.
Humph, he's a fool. He's the one who made the decision to take that little girl hostage, and he wound up dead. He only has himself to blame.
But what about when he said this? I was murdered by all of you. Detective Jowd, who forced me into a corner. Lynne, the girl who was playing in the park. And finally, you, Inspector Cabanela. If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid.
Yes. 10 years ago, on that day, the Special Investigation Unit was working on a certain case. We hauled in a young man, an important witness to our investigation. And then I did it. I made 2 very stupid mistakes.
Detective, I'm telling you, I don't know anything about it.
Fine, fine. You're under no obligation to talk, of course. But if you don't, the Special Investigation Unit can make the rest of your life a living hell.
But
I'd just been assigned to the Special Investigation Unit, you see. They didn't share much info on the big cases with a newbie like me yet, and I wanted to impress them. It was only supposed to be a simple matter of taking a statement. But I was too green. I pushed him too hard. I drove him into a corner and made him lose all hope. That was my first mistake. Those with no hope, with no future, they're desperate people. And then I made another mistake on top of that. Cabanella, got a minute? The chief wants to see you about your report. Got it, I'll be right there. You stay right here and be a good boy now. And that's when I did it. I left it behind in the interrogation room. My gun. How could you? He used my gun to escape. What he said is true. If I hadn't made that mistake, he never would have had a gun to point at Lynne in the first place. He was a victim of fate too, huh? We first found out about the manipulator's existence during a certain overseas communication.
Overseas communication?
For national security purposes, this country keeps tabs on the communications networks. This particular communication was about making a deal with a certain foreign country. He said he wanted them to buy him and his powers. That's how we first heard about him. Of course, we didn't know what he looked like at the time. And in order to prove these powers of his, he gave them 2 predictions. He foresaw 2 completely preposterous, impossible cases. The case of a man who would sing national secrets during a live rock concert broadcast. And the case of a man who'd take the chief commissioner hostage in his own office.
Those 2 inmates at the special prison, eh?
We kept tabs on their communications and launched an investigation. And then finally, we pinpointed where they were going to meet tonight and staked it out. That restaurant, the Chicken Kitchen. Wait, what's the timeline of this? Did the evil Sissel wait all these years to make a reappearance? The manipulator plans on leaving this country tonight, on a submarine that belongs to the other country in this deal.
Submarine?
But we haven't been able to find out where it's going to surface. It's terrifying to think what would happen if his powers were to fall into their hands.
Right. Highly unlikely they'd use him for peaceful purposes.
And now they have that little girl as a hostage.
Camila.
We have to stop him before he leaves the country.
This spotless record of yours really is that important to you, huh?
Of course, baby. In other ways, it's more important to me than my life.
Than your life, huh?
After all, it's because of my record that I'm able to get my hands on all intel as head of the Special Investigation Unit. And because of my position, I get to direct all aspects of the investigation into the manipulator case.
The manipulator case? That's why you cared about your record so much.
Of course. Why else, baby? I just never could believe it, man. Jowd shooting Alma. I didn't care that he confessed. There was definitely something more to the story, some secret. I did everything I could to climb the ladder, everything in my power. And then I finally found the answer. It took 5 long years, though. The manipulator. He's going to prove that Jowd is innocent.
What incredible determination.
Yeah. All this time I thought Cabanela was kind of sketchy, that he lost sight of what was important. But really, all this that he's done, it was all for his friend.
There's one thing I just don't understand. If you were so determined to help Detective Jowd, why didn't you help him escape from prison?
That's an easy one, baby. Escaping from prison's a crime. I wasn't about to help him commit a crime after spending 5 years trying to prove him innocent. And he himself asked to be executed, you know. As a man of the law, I had to make sure the execution was stopped legally. And that's why I brought him before the Justice Minister, too. I needed to buy as much time as I possibly could, baby.
So that's it, eh? But there's one little unfortunate result of all this. Lynne completely misunderstood your intentions.
Ha! What's a little misunderstanding? My baby'll come around. Give it time. But there are more important things to do with our time tonight. We gotta stop the man in red. I suppose we should head to the, minister's office, right? I suppose so. Maybe I should have talked to the professor about what he was investigating. Well, we're already here, so...
Did I make the right decision? I can't believe I let a death row inmate go free, if only for the night.
Maybe I wasn't cut out to be the Justice Minister.
Just what kind of minister was I meant to be? Looks like there's no end to the minister's worrying.
Okay, so Lynne isn't here, though. So I was wrong. Let's go talk to the super. Or should I talk to the minister? I'll talk to the minister.
How's it going? What's the situation? Looks like it's all coming to an end. It is? Don't hesitate to ask if there's anything I can do. I'll even look the other way if it comes to minor illegalities.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. I'll let everybody know. That's quite a blessing, but a little scary, too. Daybreak isn't far off. It'll all be over soon. Off you go, then. Leave this place to me.
Man, in real life at this point, because my room is hot, I'm getting really sweaty, so it's making it feel more intense. Well, guess I was mistaken, Yeah, we should talk to the professor, see what he's looking into.
Well, looks like both their deaths were erased. Unfortunately, in the case of the inspector in white, I can't call it a complete success. But in any case, these two have the information I need to start tracking the manipulator. I better talk to him.
Some pretty relaxed music.
Mr. Superintendent, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
I haven't always been a junkyard superintendent, you know. Used to be part of the police.
The police, huh?
Not as a detective, but as a medical examiner. I investigated victims' cause of death. 10 years ago, I was asked to autopsy a strange corpse. Hit by a meteorite fragment and died instantly. That's what the police report said. There were no signs of life. He was definitely dead. But I never filed an autopsy report. That's because the corpse suddenly vanished, leaving behind only one clue.
An unusual corpse. I bet that's what I've been chasing all night. Could you tell me more?
Yeah, sure. I have an interest in you recovering your memory and finding your true identity, too. That's the only way I can describe it, too. It was an unusual corpse. He was dead, all right, no question about that. But there wasn't a scratch on him.
Not a scratch, but I thought he was hit by a meteorite fragment.
I don't understand it any more than you do. I was completely bewildered, but when I tried to autopsy him, I was even more puzzled. I couldn't perform the autopsy.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
The scalpel went in, but I couldn't cut. As soon as I tried to make an incision, it would heal up in the very next instant. And that's how it went. And no scarring or blood either. And I never had the chance to solve the mystery.
That's because the corpse up and vanished on us.
The morgue is well guarded. Nobody could have stolen that body. But there is one way the corpse could have disappeared.
What's that?
It got up, opened the door, and walked out on its own.
What?
He was dead, but he wasn't dead.
We saw it with our own eyes tonight. Not even that explosion could kill him.
And he didn't even feel it when he slammed his fist on that stove.
The corpse left behind some data from some testing I did. I got some readings for some kind of radiation coming off that body.
Radiation?
I used all kinds of instruments, but I couldn't determine exactly what kind of radiation it was. Some undiscovered type from a world unknown.
Wait a minute. Could it be?
That's right. It was coming from that meteorite fragment. I went to that park and tested the spot where the meteorite fell. And just as I expected, I detected radiation coming from that crater. It was the exact same pattern of radiation as that of the corpse. At the time, I thought he was some kind of immortal being. He would die, only to come back to life. I wanted to research it all in depth, so I quit my job as a police medical examiner. Several years later, I came to learn the connection between my research and the manipulator case, thanks to the arrival of this crazy character here.
Oh, stop now, Professor! You want to see me blush?
It was about a year ago, I'd say. This man in white came dancing into my research lab here.
I heard there was an oddball here who's researching Temsik. Is that you, baby?
Who are you to be calling anybody an oddball?
I was investigating the manipulator case then. And then I heard there was a man who'd quit the police force to study the meteorite. When I heard that, it was like a meteorite had struck me on the head. At the time, we were just starting to get leads on this manipulator. We didn't know who he was yet, but we knew he was communicating with a certain foreign country. In one of those communications, we heard the manipulator say this: "The source of my power is not of this world." And that's when I put two and two together, baby. The manipulator case and Temsik were somehow connected.
Which also explained how 5 years ago he used his powers to manipulate a birthday surprise a little girl made for her mother.
He added that gun to the contraption, most likely by controlling Camila. So he did make a little girl kill her mother. What? I'm gonna watch my language here. What a scumbag. I guess being a dead and possessed by an alien or something would do that to you, but... So that contraption in the basement here, you built that to try and help Detective Jowd?
That's right. Jowd and I worked together back when I was with the Force. I used the reports of his case to try and recreate the device. But there was just one part of it that I couldn't reproduce no matter how hard I tried.
Camila told Jowd it did something it shouldn't have, made an impossible move.
I added that part to the device I recreated. I put in a part that would allow Cupid to rotate, otherwise the gun wouldn't fire.
So that must mean somebody manipulated Camila's contraption. Yeah, but why would But Professor, why would you have been keeping the gun loaded downstairs? That's really dangerous. As a result, we proved to ourselves that the manipulator actually existed.
Inspector Cabanella!
Hey, baby. Sorry about that phone call. I must have sounded like a real villain. Hated to spoil your image of me. Of that cool cat inspector you always looked up to. Is that really the image she had of him?
Inspector Cabanella, I'm sorry. I just heard. You were chasing after that man all this time to try and help Detective Jowd.
This manipulator is such a dangerous character. I was hoping you didn't have to be involved.
So that's why you had me arrested tonight, isn't it?
Like I always say, if somebody's in the way, throw 'em in the slammer. Yikes. Tonight, I really thought we finally had him. But my body gave out on me at the critical moment. It's like a cruel joke. But a joke is a joke. You might as well laugh.
Jowd! The minister called off the execution order. And while he was at it, he let Detective Jowd go free until tomorrow morning, too. That's a pretty extreme while he was at it.
Sorry I took so long to get here. You can leave the rest to me. There you go again. You've always been like that. You make everybody else run around, and then you swoop in at the last second.
Jowd! 5 years ago, you left this coat with me just before you turned yourself in. I promised to give it back to you one day.
I've been waiting so long, Detective Jowd. Waiting for this day to come.
Thanks for not giving up on me, Lynne. Okay, I'm off then.
Good luck, my old friend.
This present you gave me, it's just what I needed. Thank you.
Glad you like it. Sissel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You and I have to go find that man. I need your help. Will you do this with me?
Sure, but how? We don't know where the submarine is and the phone line doesn't work.
They use communication cables to make their calls. We'll get you hooked up somehow. You'll see. Could you wait here until we do? Please.
Okay, fine. I'm counting on you.
This true self you're looking for. I bet you'll find it soon. All right, I'm leaving, Inspector Cabanella. Shouldn't you call the hospital first? Or I guess Cabanella can do that.
It's almost dawn. I'm not who I thought I was. I'm actually further from knowing who I am than ever. But now I don't feel so alone. Each one of us, for his or her own reasons, is looking for the truth. Together, I think we can shed light on these mysteries and drive away the darkness. But it's almost dawn.
Almost, Sissel, but not quite. We make all these friends just in time for us to die, though, huh? Or for us to fade away for good.